Assalamu alaikum ji. Hello. I can see Zoha Noor to be online. Alright ji, there has been a lot of requests so far. So I can open the chat box. If you want to ask anything, please let me know. You can, I have opened the chat box. So we can start chatting with each other. Hello everyone. Let me know. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? 1 minute. Hello, can you hear me all? All right, G, let's start. Without much further ado, I can see that 9 people have so far joined this meeting. Zoha, Noor, Hadia, Sijal, Habib, Fiza. There has been a request so far on to extend the deadline, and I just did that. I have given you the new deadline, and in today's meeting, I'll be able to address some of the basic questions and that you people have been posing on me and you've been asking. I can see that there's a lot of concentration going on. There's a lot of confusion going on, and let me start by saying that. Research itself requires a lot of um, uh, confusion and a lot of it encompasses so much other avenues to go through that you need to explore, and I know that most of you are trying to establish a niche which is the required thing to go and to do so. So for now I have already uploaded. I can see that you people are you people are there, but can you hear me all? Can you let me know that I am connected to you all or not? Are we connected? Hello? Alright, G. There has been a request so far, and most of you have requested to extend the deadline, and I did that. I have given you the new deadline um, for controversy analysis paper, and the new deadline is Friday 17th of April, and similarly and consequently have extended the deadline for controversy analysis presentation, and the new deadline to submit your controversy analysis presentation is April 20th, which is on Monday. So please make sure that you submit these two things together, and you try to follow the deadline and meet every deadline. Try to do so. Many students think that controversy analysis paper and the kind of responses that I've been getting from all of you, and many of you are thinking that I can see that most of you are facing a lot of problems and issues. Let you in. Hello, iPhone. Hello, Habib. Hello, Sukhana. Saad is here. I can see Daniel, Isha, Daniel, Mano, and okay. Hello, G. Everyone, can you hear me all?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a go? Huh? Okay. Uh, so I'm going to unmute you guys, and if you have any question, please, there is a chat box. You can type your question in the chat box, and I'll be trying to be brief about the answers. And please pose all the questions, as many questions as you have. So I hope that it will help you to sort of. Right, there's a lot of background noise. All right, most of you have requested me to extend the deadline for the two capstone project that we are trying to culminate, and I have extended the deadline, and the new deadline for uh, cap project paper is 17th of 17th of April, and for presentation, the new deadline is 20th of April.
Okay.
Ji, where is our chat box?
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Ji, walaikum salam. Ji, Zoha, you have any question?
Yes, sir. मेरा question यही है कि since we're supposed to write the controversies, what exactly is our main controversy like supposed to be? Is it according, because I know कि it's according to our MDG, but MDG के अंदर हम basically क्या controversy निकाल सकते हैं?
All right, very good question. So, Zoha, you remember I asked you to develop a niche and think for a
Yes.
particular area that you want to work on. So let me tell you that let me ask you that um, what is your MDG that you're working on?
My MDG is the seventh one, which is environmental sustainability, the
All right,
C section of it, which is water sustainability and sanitation.
shabash. So, what do you think? What is the controversy in it? Do you think that everything is good to go in global perspective when when we talk about environmental issues? Do you think that one country is only being affected by environment, or the entire world is encapsulated and affected by the environmental issues, and we need to have a unified? Do you think that this is a controversy or not? Is it a controversy
It
or not? Yes.
it is a controversy in itself, but the thing is, like, when it comes to a statement and the articles, are we like supposed to write a summary of what the controversies are in the articles or in the topic that we have in general?
In the topic, of course, in the topic, that you need to focus on the topic, that whatever. And you see what controversy analysis paper stands for. It aims you it and one more thing, let me be very clear about one thing, that it's not that you guys are going to look for 10 new articles. It's the same 10 previous articles that you have already worked on. You are going to give me a summary and give me a relevance, that how these 10 articles have been connected with your previous and your current research as well. So let me tell you that controversy is not something that has something controversial in it. Don't try to make it like in terms of like controversial, but it's something that is which is debatable, which is arguable, which that you have already worked on, which you have already studied on, a kind of literature review. So controversy analysis is, in short, is a literature review of the problem or on the issue that you already been doing it. Does that make sense?
It does. So, sir, since we have already done like 10 annotated bibliographies, we're supposed to write them after our essay, and we are supposed to include those 10 the ones we have, done the annotated bibliography for, right?
Yes. Yes.
And with that, I have like, when we were supposed to submit our proposals, I also made another proposal, and I uploaded it on Moodle when it's finally started working. And the question I came up with was, how can water sustainability and sanitation be regulated in underdeveloped countries?
Right.
So in this prospect, I also have a lot of the new 5 articles I searched up. Those
Mhm.
5 articles were had some relation into countries such as Pakistan, because I wanted to focus on some underdeveloped countries and the problems it has there. So I can include the example of Pakistan as well, right? When looking at underdeveloped countries.
Yes, but absolutely, you are absolutely right. And please make sure that those 10 articles will come in the main body. And
Hmm.
what you're going to do is you're going to write probably a new paragraph in terms of like introduction and in conclusion. Makes
Okay.
sense? Makes sense that the 10 articles that you have already worked on for your annotated bibliography assignments will be the main body of for this capstone project.
Okay.
Okay, does that make
Um,
sense? And I do understand that it says that you need to trace the history and you need to say you need to look into the status quo as well. So do not take status quo sounds very fancy word, but do not be confused about these terms, to be very honest. So historical perspective and the current perspective you will get through these articles that you've been reading throughout since we started off with this semester. So do not take it as a kind of that you don't know on the issue, do have you have no idea what you're working on. I'm sure that everybody has a perspective, you guys have kind of build a perspective on the issue that you're working on. So try to answer all the questions that I asked. I know there's a lot of confusion going on. I understand that you guys face multiple issues. I know that some terms are not being comprehensible, and you've been asking and looking for different templates, that which I'm very sorry to say, but I'm very proud at the same time, because you guys will be the pioneers of producing controversy analysis. And let me tell you, controversy analysis itself in simpler terms will be called as literature review. So you are reviewing the literature, and you are reviewing the previous existing literature, and reviewed process has already been done. You have critically written annotated bibliography, but this time I'm asking you to encompass, to sort of synthesize entire information into one essay, into one single
Okay.
coherent piece. Make sense?
okay,
And
yeah.
And
and
one
sir,
more, hold on before I move on to Isha. Please make sure that do not be hesitant in making mistakes, and do not be worried about the grades. I will be, if in case I'll be like having any issue, I think I'll feel that you need to repeat, you need to redo the assignment. That particular assignment will not be considered as the final assignment. I'll give you the time, I will let you complete it. I will ask you to redo that even. Make sense? All right.
yes, sir, and like, you checked the worksheet, whereas I thought it wasn't gonna be graded, so I did it in a point kind of way, but then you graded it, and
No, I'm not. I'm not going to grade it, but I am going to include that grading later on. I am
yeah,
going. I'm going to. Yes.
but sir, the grade was so bad.
Then you need to, if you think, one more thing, if you think that your grade is not up to the mark, you are scoring 5 out of 10, or you're scoring 6 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, that means that you need to repeat the assignment. It goes without saying. But if you are on like 8 9, then you are on the safer side. And
Sir, can I?
most of you have sort of, I'm sure, scored 10 out of 10 as well. Be quick, hurry up.
Sir,
Uh,
can I like
sir,
send it to you via email, because it won't let Moodle update it again, because it won't let it upload again.
All right, Zoha, you have, I think in this meeting, we better discuss those issues that are sort of like relevant to all the audience that we do have. Of course, you can send me an email. Okay, G. Moving
Okay,
on to
sir.
Isha.
yes, okay, finally. So I have basically covered most of the things, but like I wanted to still ask about the controversy in general because I'm having issue in writing the thesis statement. So I wanted to like elaborate on the thesis statement a little.
I think it's a very, very relevant question. It's very good question. Again, I would say. So controversy, as I said, controversy is not something which is controversial in nature. That like we are talking about some scandals or these kinds of things, negative things. Do not take it as in a negative term. But
Okay.
controversy analysis paper itself is something which is arguable. And similarly, your thesis statement should state which thing what is the perspective that you want to bring in through this research. That has to be arguable, that has to be talk. I mean it should not be like stating in a very simpler term that ABC is good or doing good, but why is it doing good, how is it doing good. It should be like you would be able to dwell on that particular statement. And as I said in my recording, that thesis statement is something you are not going to come up over probably within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You need practice in order to do that. And one more thing, you need to think of that particular question that I asked you to state. Remember, I asked you to state a question in your proposals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to think of that question, how you're going to answer. Probably once you think of answering that question, you will be able to come up with a nice thesis statement. A nice thesis
Okay.
statement is, in terms of saying nice thesis statement, is like I would say is easy to say as a teacher. But if you ask me right now, sir, okay, give me an example of thesis statement that I'm working on, I might not be able to do that. So you need to practice a lot. Isha, may I ask that which area that you're working on?
I'm actually working. The this goal was improving maternal health, and my what I'm working on is mother's health in general during
So, what
maternity.
is the controversy in mother's health that you think that you want to explore in? And when I say that, then when I say that you want to explore and let me know that why you are interested in doing so as well. I'm very much interested in knowing your interest and your area and your niche as well. Okay.
So I think I will be interested in knowing why is it uh, why do countries not I think it will be about why do countries not spend so much on maternal health, and why do women die so much, keep dying and dying because of irregularities in the hospitals. I've also researched a lot on this, so I think I will be able to do it. But like I think it's covered now. I think I understand what controversy means because that was the biggest issue for me.
Thank you very much, Isha. I think, as I said earlier, that controversy means something to sort of which is arguable, which is debatable, and make sure that I gave you an overarching theme. I'm not limiting you. I'm not limiting your perspective. I'm not giving you a very narrow sort of niche. I am asking you to develop and to look for which really makes you feel working for. It should not be that you are like putting you into a shell and asking you to compulsively complete an assignment. I want you to all, I think you all, we making a lot of effort in doing so, and I can see that most of the students are very, very committed in terms of they're concerned about. And let me tell you that if as I said earlier, that please do not be hesitant in making mistakes. We do make mistakes, but at the same time, once I see that you need to improve, you need to redo the assignment, I'll ask you to redo that. I'm sure that most of
Sir.
us have no idea what annotated bibliography was initially, but now
Yeah.
we came to know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so one last thing. So,
Yes.
in our first class, I remember you said that the thesis statement or the introduction has to be written the last. It should be the last thing that should be
Okay.
written.
Okay.
Should I go with that?
Yes.
Should
Why
I
not?
write it last?
Why not? Why not? Why not? Yes.
Okay, okay,
Eventually,
okay.
let me tell you
Sir,
that.
I have a question.
Okay, Habib, before I move on to you, I think you guys will be only doing, let me tell you, a very easy way of doing this controversy analysis paper, that probably most of you will be only doing introduction and conclusion. These two paragraphs are new things into this particular assignment, and the rest of the assignment is going to be the same as because you are going to review, you are going to like sort of put all 10 articles again in the main body. So you have already worked on those 10 articles. You're only going to write a concluding paragraph, and you're going to add only one introductory paragraph. And that's it. So in any way, you are writing it by the end. Ji Habib.
Sir, my question was regarding the main body of the paper. and that's like the 10 articles that we have collected. Like we have to go through those and then present their main ideas as the main body, or do we have to do something else?
No, I think you have answered your own question while asking this question, and you can. I can be a little bit like, let me admit new people here as well. So many people I can see so far joined us. Habib, yes, it's your critical analysis. It's also about asking those questions, as I said, that when it says that you need to trace the history of that particular issue, you need to look into the current perspective, and I'm sure you've been able to find answers to all these questions while reading through and going through those 10 articles. And once you say that, and you asked that, what do we need to include? Remember, I asked you to OVPL format, and the OVPL origin, value,
Yes, yes.
limitation, and retain yourself towards like what is the contribution that particular article has added into the existing body of literature, and what kind of limitation that particular writer or article or study has left out, that you want to bridge the gap in terms of like you are going to build a niche and you are going to explore in this way. Try to be critical. I would not say that just give a summary of those 10 articles, but I would say that now try to build your essay based on those 10 articles in a way that gives your controversy analysis a coherent outlook, in terms of like you are going to talk about the main argument as well, but at the same time do not think that if 10 articles are based on the 10 different arguments, that you are going to talk on 10 different arguments. Just you need to be pick and choose. You need to adopt the strategy of pick and choosing, and think of what is relevant. You need to extract that relevant information and retain that information into your articles, into your main into your cap project. What is not relevant, let it be, let it go. Sukhana, you want to ask?
Sir, I've been a little behind on this. I just got back to Lahore, so I know that a few of my assignments have been missing. The thing I did not understand was after we did the annotated bibliography, we needed to write another one with all 10 articles or the new 5 ones.
Are you done with the annotated bibliography assignment, Sukhana?
Yes, I one एक
Uh,
तो वो था which I submitted to you.
yes, and are you done with the worksheet as well?
I am done with the worksheet for 5 assignments which we did
So
previously, but not the 5
with
new
the
ones.
new ones, yes, you need to
Yeah.
complete the worksheet first, which is with the new ones,
Yes.
and after doing that you're going to write your capstone project again, working on the same 10 articles,
Yes.
and culminating kind of controversy controversy analysis controversy analysis project. There's a noise in the background. All right.
So we
Controversy.
don't have to write the annotated bibliography for the 5 new articles we
No,
choose.
you don't
We,
have to.
okay.
You don't have to. All right, Ji, there is a new
Okay.
question.
And the topic proposal, sir,
Yes, sir.
we need to pick a topic other than the one which we were working before on.
No, it's the same topic proposal. I think you are done with no. Haven't you done that, Sukhana?
Where we gave you a topic in class. That's
Yes, I
is that the one?
yes,
Okay.
yes, 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 yes. It's
Okay.
the same one.
Okay.
Got a question.
All right, the next question.
Assalamu
सर
alaikum, sir.
मैं
Ji Abu Bakar.
Sir, I have a question too.
सर मैं पूछना चाह रहा था कि हमने जिन जो एनोटेटिव बिब्लियोग्राफी की है हमने अपना टॉपिक डिसाइड करके, तो ये पेपर भी उसी टॉपिक पर लिखना है?
बिल्कुल जी, बिल्कुल यही तो, this is what we are talking about. This is what I want you to work on. This is what we are here for. This is not something new. Capstone project is not something new. It's the same information. It's the same idea. It's the same argument that you all are working on. And I don't want you to put into trouble. I want you to facilitate this process. And if you think that you lag behind, I want you to still attempt that. And once I will review your papers, I will ask you to redo if it is needed. All right, the next question.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Sir, what
Sure.
do we have to write in the status quo part?
Oh, very nice. Very good question. Status quo is about the current controversies. The controversy which is under discussion, which is under Ahmad, I'll come to you later, which is under argument after. In the status quo, you are going to explore the current state of that particular controversy, of that particular issue. If we are talking about, as Isha is working on women health maternity issue, and the issue has been existing since time immemorial, because childbirth is not something new, poverty is not something new, or any other issue that you're working on is not something new. So these issues exist since time immemorial. So you are not only
Sir,
going status quo, you are going to find out what is the current state of that particular issue that you are going to address and that you are working on.
sir, in these controversies, usually the information relates to the past. For example, जैसे UN ने MDGs और SDGs लिस्ट किए, और अब जो हो रहा है वो उन्हीं की बेसिस पे हो रहा है.
जी जी जी.
So it's past और present दोनों connected हैं.
Absolutely. Past
तो
history repeats itself.
coherent look, sometimes it doesn't give a coherent look in the essay. बीच में कुछ present की बात भी आ जाती है, कभी कभी कुछ past की आ जाती है.
ठीक है. So what if you particularly write focus one paragraph introduction के बाद one paragraph focus one paragraph on the past and then one paragraph जो कि conclusion से पहले वाला होगा that you can talk about the present state. Does it look give a coherent state?
Yeah.
Huh? So think in that way.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay.
So every article is based on different aspects.
Every article based on different aspect, Noor? This is what you asked?
Yes, sir.
But better still, every article should focus on one particular area, isn't it so?
Yes, sir. It is one article is about undeveloped countries, then developed, then China, then Pakistan. So what I have to do?
What is the overall topic that you're working on? What is
improving maternal health?
Improving maternal health. So what is the issue at hand is your is the maternal improving situations in maternal health in terms of like meeting this
developing countries, then undeveloped countries, then Pakistan, then China, and remote areas.
So beta, every article talks about different areas. Remember, this is what you said, no? This is what you said.
Yes.
This is what you mean. So every article is covering different area, but still every article is talking about maternal health, isn't it so?
Yes, sir.
So you are going to synthesize information from different areas, but still the argument still be the same, that how to improve maternal health in the world.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right.
Sir, I have one question.
Sir, I have also one question.
Saad, is it you? Yes, Saad, please.
Yes, sir. सर मैंने पूछना था कि जो हमने आपने क्वेश्चन वो कहा था कि आप क्वेश्चन वो सोचें जो इसके रिलेटेड होगा, तो मैंने ये पूछना था इसमें हम वो उसको डिस्कस करेंगे, हम अपने मेन टॉपिक को करेंगे, मेन टॉपिक को उससे रिलेटेड करके वो उसके बारे में टाइप करेंगे, क्या करेंगे?
बेटा एवरीथिंग योर मेन टॉपिक इज रेलेवेंट. आप अपने प्रपोजल पे दोबारा जाइएगा, आप अपने प्रपोजल पे दोबारा जाइएगा और फिर आप अपना एनोटेटेड बिब्लियोग्राफी भी देखिएगा. I ask you to kind of align each and everything in a single coherent way. When I say this, I am sure that the question that you asked is connected with the topic that you are working on, and similarly your topic corresponds with the articles that you researched for, isn't it so? ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता बेटा आप क्वेश्चन कोई और पूछ रहे हो और आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव कुछ और हो और आप आर्टिकल्स कोई और रिसर्च कर रहे हो, ऐसा तो नहीं है ना मेरा बेटा.
वो मेरा ये मतलब है कि मैं ये इसको हमने वो आंसर उसका देना है क्वेश्चन का इस इनके एनवायरनमेंट टॉपिक के हेल्प ऑफ टॉपिक
अभी नहीं देंगे. अभी उस क्वेश्चन को हम दोबारा और ज्यादा फर्दर डेवलप करने की कोशिश करेंगे in our thesis statement. We'll try to make sure that we are kind of in a way we sort of making it a more debatable issue.
So the thesis statement has to be a question. It has to be another question regarding our question previously.
Not really, but it is a kind of it kind of germinates as a kind of answer to the question. For instance, if you think that poverty exists, but it exists in different forms, like what are the different components that leads towards poverty? it should not be the question, I would say again, but the thesis statement should be arguable in a way that kind of generates another discourse of discussion.
Okay.
Imad, who else wants to ask question? All right, there are some of the
Me,
questions.
I have a
Language of
Language.
yeah, the language.
The language.
The language of the controversy.
language of controversy.
But not using
Yeah.
personal pronouns. Do not use personal pronouns, but talk in terms of ref. If you want, if you intend to refer it to you to yourself, then term it that the researcher intends to do this. Researcher intends to achieve this objective, or and so on and so forth. And language, write it in third
लेकिन वो
person.
एक लेकिन वो एक अलग से पार्ट होगा जिसमें हम डेफिनेशंस लिखेंगे क्रिटिकल टर्म्स की लाइक टेक्निकल टर्म्स
जी वो that will come and that will not be included in controversy analysis paper. That is an extra part. For instance, वो a very good
कंक्लूजन के भी बाद
conclusion के भी बाद add a heading of definition, and definition mean definition only. और आपको लगता है जो कि any for instance poverty की एक definition that you want to mention, so do mention that this poverty we would like it to define by according to United Nations कि जिसको $2 per day नहीं मिल रहे or he is not earning is called poor. So probably मेरे लिए that definition is new. अगर आप global connectivity पे that you're working on and you want to define that term and you think that the other person might not be able to get an idea, so add a definition. And that definition, I am not asking in terms of like you have to, in research we do not refer that this definition is from UN perspective, this definition is from Google's perspective. We write definition from the researcher's perspective, because जितनी आपको knowledge है अब अपने अपने topics पे उतनी मुझे भी नहीं है.
सर
जी हादिया.
मैंने क्या नाम है आपको एनालाइज पेपर सेंड किया था, तो मैंने डेफिनेशन और थीसिस स्टेटमेंट फर्स्ट पे दी और लास्ट पे कंक्लूजन दिया था.
ठीक है बेटा, उसको आप यू कैन पुट, वो तो आप कॉपी पेस्ट ही करेंगे ना, डेफिनेशन विल कम आफ्टर द कंक्लूजन, नो प्रॉब्लम.
ओके
सर
जी वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
to ask like in annotated you wanted us to focus on the articles and the stuff it contained, like the summary of it.
जी जी.
In this one, like what do you want us to mainly focus on, like what's the difference between the two?
As I said that there is not a big difference. I would say the controversy to pehle se we are very much exploring the controversy. And controversy, let's say that this controversy, I am going to rename this controversy as an issue. We are already working on that issue, Imad. We have already explored 10 articles on that issue, Imad. We have already looked those 10 articles into like OVPL format. I want you to now this time focus on synthesizing the entire information into one single essay, which is about 1250 words to 1500 words. Or usme you are going to review the literature again, or reviewing the literature again. Meri baat sune. This is a kind of extension. Do not think that this something controversy analysis is something a new thing for you. It's an extension of, you're going to synthesize the entire 10 articles into one single coherent body paragraph, जो कि आपका probably 700 words का होगा. One paragraph, introductory paragraph will be 250 words and one conclusion. That's it. I want you to focus on the same. I want you to focus on the same argument. ये पहले समझ लें that I want you to focus on the same issue. And I want you to kind of think in a kind of, this is a kind of extension. Do not think as if this is a new assignment that I have given to you.
Basically cumulating all the previous articles.
Cumulation. And also in terms of मैंने बहुत सारी assignments I returned, and I asked you to work on the limitation, because limitation में if somebody is stating there is no limitation at all, so if there is no limitation, you cannot, because your analysis of the articles are very important. All right, you keep two things in your mind once you write annotated bibliography. Everybody is listening now?
Yes sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes sir.
Keep two things very, very importantly. Keep two things in your mind. Number one, if you are going to write you are going to, of course, annotate, you are going to use 10 articles. Number one, you are going to add that how this particular article has contributed towards this existing body of knowledge, how this particular writer or the article has contributed to this existing body of knowledge. इसीलिए मैं बार बार कह रहा था that you need to look into and reread the articles through your critical eye. How this particular
Sir,
article...
could you please repeat what you said?
Yes, I'm repeating. Number one, in your once you are working on capstone project that you have selected 10 articles. So in terms of like what thing that I'll be looking into, that particular writer, particular researcher, or the article, how this researcher has contributed in the existing body of knowledge, through his research, through his findings, through his methods.
So this comes in the main body of the paper.
Yes. And number two, what needs to be addressed? Or what is the gap which still needs to bridge? What is the gap that still needs to bridge? And if you think that the writer has already done a kind of commendable job in terms of like he or she has achieved the objective, then you need to give an appraisal to that. You need to appraise the information. You need to say, and you need to acknowledge that particular writer has done kind of extensive research while exploring this issue or while working on this design, and has provided with these kinds of alternatives and these solutions. Okay.
So the introduction we'll be writing on this paper, that we'll be introducing our question over there, or our topic again?
Both.
And
very
sir,
good question, Sakina. Very good question. Very relevant question. Shabash. Very good question. You will be working on you are going to restate the question as well, and you are going to dwell on your topic as well, and the area in which you're working on. G, who wants to ask question?
Sir, so just want to clarify once. In the introduction, does it include the history and the status quo in the introduction or in the body?
In the as I asked earlier, that the history you can make a separate paragraph of, because somebody said that it will be an oscillation between past and present and might not be able to address the issue. So make sure that you start from past and moving on towards present by the end of your essay, and you can have a separate paragraph. After introduction, start with the past and then moving on to the main body, and then before conclusion you can talk about status quo.
Okay.
All right, guys, I have already extended the deadline, and the new deadline is the 17th of April. Are you guys happy? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, and I have extended the deadline
Thank you,
of
sir.
your. You're welcome, Ji. I have extended the deadline of your PowerPoint presentation, and which is the new deadline for presentation is 20th of April. I'm sure you will be able to do this two things simultaneously, and you should not.
Sir, which presentation is that?
Presentation, sir? We don't know when.
Ji, you don't know, Nabil. You don't know. Acha ji.
No, sir.
Beta, you are going to present what you do in your presentation. So you are going to present your capstone project in your presentation.
And how are we going to do that?
I have already uploaded the entire format. I have already uploaded the entire document. Please go through that video. We can have another Zoom meeting. We can plan that out. And for now, I think you just focus on the paper.
No, sir, we have to present you or just send you the slides?
Yes, you have to send me the slides, as well as you have to add narration to your slides. For instance, I asked you to have 7 slides, and every slide will talk about and focus on different issue. And one slide each should have 1 minute of narration or description, I would say. Does that make sense?
Okay.
If you are done with paper, I'm sure you will be able to do presentation in a sort of like It's a very easy job for you to do that.
Sir, one last question.
Ji, Isha.
Just to clarify for me and everyone else over here. So it starts with introduction, then there's history, then there's body, then there's status quo, conclusion, and the language, and then in the end annotated, right?
And the end annotated, and also the definition you're forgetting.
Yeah, that was the language.
Isha,
after
can you do
conclusion.
me a favor? Can you type in the message all this format for me, please?
What is this annotated? Sir, what is this annotated at the end?
Annotated. Ji, please, Isha.
It's basically the 10 articles that we have done before. We just have to write their citations.
Yes,
and,
you have to write the
that's it.
citation of this 10 articles. Thank you, Isha. Isha, please make sure that you also type it and post this on our WhatsApp group as well of the class. Can you do that for me? Thank you.
Sir, वही
जी,
सर
जी।
वही citations जो हमने annotated
जी
bibliography की summaries के
जी
लिए
जी पहले तो
ठीक हो गया।
शेरल वही बेटा, शेरल क्या हो गया आपको? वही बेटा, वही। और क्या करेंगे? नए मैंने आपको कहा नए आर्टिकल्स ले आए। जी, there are some. Sadia wants to ask something. Sadia, where are you?
Sir, I'm here. Sir, I wanted to ask you, I was going to submit you the annotated bibliography, which the first 5 articles थे. आपने कहा था, if anyone wants to improve that, तो आप मुझे submit करा देना. But I couldn't do it क्योंकि उसके बाद university बंद हो गई, तो can I submit you? Can I still submit?
Please don't think that I'm a very strict teacher. लेकिन बस मुझे what really annoys me, जो बच्चे काम नहीं करते, that really annoys me. और इधर उधर के lame excuses करते हैं ना, that really annoys me a lot.
नहीं, you didn't ask me to do it again.
Sadia, why would I be asking you? It's your prerogative, it's your hard work. बेटा आपको खुद initiative लेना पड़ता है बहुत सारी.
Actually, I wanted to ask how am I going to submit it by
you can send me an email. You can you can upload it on Moodle even. I'm sure you can do that. All right, G, let me go through which presentation the speech Hannah is asking. Of course, you are going to present the paper as well, the capstone project and your speech, and I have uploaded the entire information. I'm sure that once you go through the slides, you will be your question will be answered. After doing controversy analysis paper, we have to start the controversy analysis piece. Yes, Hadia. How many paragraphs should be there? I think Isha has very precisely talked about those paragraphs, so please follow that. The body includes history, status quo, language of the 10 articles. Sir, I asked you that we were gonna take it, G. Any other thing, G? Please let me know if you want to ask anything else.
Sir, what do we have to include in the definition? In the definition, what did?
Scanner, any technical term that you think which will be a difficult thing for a layman like me, that I'm not expert in maternity health, I'm not expert in poverty alleviation framework, I'm not expert in economic, I'm not expert in global. So if you think that any term which is like new, which can be the new thing for your reader, please add it into the definition, and that has to be a technical term, like which requires you to define. ठीक है जी?
Yes.
will be. सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है
जी, go सलमान जी, प्लीज बेटा.
सर मेरा जो मेन टॉपिक है वो यूनिवर्सल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन है, और उसमें जो आपने मुझे रिकमेंड किए थे वो था एक लैंग्वेज प्रॉब्लम और एक आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन. तो मेरे ज्यादातर जो आर्टिकल्स हैं वो आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन के बारे में है, जैसे 7-8.
फोकस ऑन आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन.
तो मैं इस कंट्रोवर्सी एनालिसिस पेपर में मेन फोकस मेरा ये होगा ना, आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन. उसके बाद बात
करनी है. ये तो बहुत बड़ी कंट्रोवर्सी आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन.
सर मेरा भी एक क्वेश्चन है.
जी नबील
जी. सर इन्होंने जैसे कहा कि मेरा आउट ऑफ स्कूल बच्चों का है, तो सर मैंने तो जनरली मतलब ओवरऑल प्रॉब्लम्स किया कि यूनिवर्सल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन में क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स आई डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में या ग्लोबली. तो
Abu Bakr, you can look for one particular area that you want to focus on. Education का आप इतना vast domain है that you won't be able to do justice to the article to the topic. So please focus on one. It can be the quality of curriculum. You think in that way. उसमें से अब आप दोबारा आर्टिकल्स को go through करें और देखेंगे कौन सा एक one perspective that you want to work on. मैं आपको प्लीज लिमिट नहीं करूंगा कि जी आप इसी पे काम करें, उस पे काम करें. It's your choice, absolutely. If you want to work on university education, do focus on. जी नबील.
नो सर, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं, पीछे भाई बोल रहे थे इसमें।
अच्छा
सर मुझे क्वेश्चन
जी
एक मैंने
प्लीज
पूछना है।
बीमल कैसे हैं आप?
ठीक।
जी 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 प्लीज गो ऑन।
सर मैंने पूछा था कि जिस इंट्रोडक्शन में मैं दो टेक्नोलॉजीज के बारे में डिस्कस करना चाहती हूँ कि वो सक्सेसफुल हैं या नहीं, और ये कि रोल ऑफ स्प्रेडिंग अवेयरनेस, तो ये तीनों चीजों के बारे में डिस्कस कर सकती हूँ या इन दोनों या सिर्फ दो चीजों के बारे में?
नहीं नहीं, you can, Bimal, I think you can do justice to all these things, but three things, because I have seen your previous work. You are very committed student. You thoroughly put your heart and soul into every of your assignment. I will not restrict you of not doing other one thing, or you are not going to include. आप बिल्कुल कर सकती हैं, बिल्कुल. There is a green signal from my side.
Okay. And sir, history of controversy में four parts थे कि where did the controversy come from, historical circumstances and key moments, who are the key players and what are the views or perspectives. तो उसमें मैंने पूछना था कि हमने इसमें साइंटिस्ट के नेम ऐड करने हैं और
बिल्कुल
origin of technology.
बिल्कुल, in terms of like you think that if you're working on corona, तो corona का origin तो comes from Wuhan, तो Wuhan वाले becoming upset with that issue. इस तरह का आप टेक्नोलॉजी पे ना देखें ना, आप ये देख लें कि टेक्नोलॉजी in terms of like using technology in which way is a new thing that you can start off, like rockets में या robot technology में या कुछ इस तरह से ना, which is kind of connected to you. और जिस तरह आपने कहा ना key players, you need to, जी we'll come back to you, Daniel, एक मिनट जरा. Key players are very important. If you're working on education, then key player are the policy makers, are the school administrators. इस तरह से आपने identify करने हैं. अगर if you're working on states, then state has 4 different key players, जिसमें से judiciary है, आपकी media आ जाता है, legislation आ जाता है, and so forth. Politicians आ जाते हैं. So you need to focus on these key players. You need to identify these key players. जी Daniel.
So my topic is how to improve the maternal health. तो इसकी history क्या होगी?
Beta, you need to, if you think that you still haven't got the answers to these problems, then you need to re-go and reread all the 10 articles. Aapko, I'm sure you will get the history. Usme, every article has one particular paragraph on literature review. In literature review, every writer tries to trace back the history and the work that has been done before on that particular issue. Beta, I'm not the expert on maternal health. You need to go into your readings. ठीक है दानियाल?
सर लेकिन उसमें ना ये है कि मतलब इस कंट्री में अब मैंने स्पेसिफिकली दो कंट्रीज पे मैंने आर्टिकल्स ढूंढे, एक है इंडिया और एक है सूडान, साउथ सूडान. तो उस पे सिर्फ ये लिखा हुआ है कि these are the maternal problems, मतलब कि ये इसके हेल्थ इशू है, ये मतलब इस वजह से हो रहा
अच्छा
है.
दानियाल, देखिए मेरी
उसकी
बात
कोई
सुने.
स्पेसिफिक हिस्ट्री नहीं है.
One more thing, that if you think that your questions have still not been answered, one flaw can be in finding the relevant articles. ठीक है? And second thing can be that I'm not asking you to limit yourself only to those 10 articles. Go on exploring yourself and keep on exploring. And let me tell you that JSTOR is freely available now on from now onwards, since Corona invention of coronavirus 19 has been done. So JSTOR has been very graciously accepted this this kind of cauldron that we are trying to work remotely from our homes, and it has given you access of free access to all the articles. So Daniel, keep researching beta. I'm sure you will find history of maternal health as well.
Okay, sir.
Gee, I think, let me ask Bimal, have I answered your question, Bimal? Sorry, I moved on
Yes,
to...
sir.
Okay.
Sir, I also wanted to ask that will we add references that we use for definitions, because we will use the exact terms.
No.
For example, if I will use the scientific terms, so...
No. Because why? Because these definitions are your own definitions, because you are an expert. You are an expert and you are going to give your own definition, and we call it a working definition in research language. We call it working definition. ये कोई appropriate Oxford dictionary की definition नहीं होती, but rather a working definition that will serve the purpose only to conduct and to for only this particular research and the context that you're working on. ठीक है जी, इसलिए हमें कोई reference की जरूरत नहीं है.
सर मैंने आपको आर्टिकल वो एनालाइज पेपर सेंड किया था ना, लाइक उसको पढ़ के मुझे बस बता दें कि मेरी मिस्टेक्स वगैरह क्या हैं, ताकि मैं उसको रिव्यू कर लूँ
हाँ जी
दोबारा
हाँ
से।
बेटा, मैं ज़रूर बता दूंगा। मैं क्यों रखूंगा अपने पास सारी अपनी वो। I will be going through your. Let me make clear that we all are on the same page. We all have understood the problem. We all want to move on. Of course, I will give you. I will start giving you one-to-one feedback once we all have understood the controversy analysis paper and we are ready to move on to the next step. G.
थैंक यू सर।
Okay. Anybody else wants to ask? I saw Heather.
मेरा क्वेश्चन
Ji, please.
Sir?
अभी आपने
Let me know your name.
सलमान
जी सलमान, जी सलमान।
सर आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन जैसे मेरा टॉपिक है, तो अब इसमें ये तो एक प्रॉब्लम है सर, इसकी हिस्ट्री कहाँ से स्टार्ट होगी, ये तो किसी ने नहीं, मतलब ये तो एक प्रॉब्लम है और उसके प्रॉब्लम के ऊपर बात की गई है।
अच्छा देखें, हिस्ट्री का मतलब सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन एंड आई एम आस्किंग यू टू गो इनटू द हिस्टोरिकल पर्सपेक्टिव में यू विल ऐड अ काइंड ऑफ लाइक दिस प्रॉब्लम एग्जिस्ट since we started defining education as a proper formal education. So you see, formal education comes, it's a very recent era, a phenomena of getting and going into universities and going into doing into research. So you need to think of when we realize that out of school children itself is the biggest problem. So it's not something that you need to trace the history, but rather just think in terms of like how this issue actually germinates, how this issue actually culminates into being an issue. How come we realize that this issue actually exists?
ठीक है सर। और सर एक ये सवाल है कि जो आपने भी थोड़ी देर पहले बात की कि हमने जिस राइटर का जो आर्टिकल होगा तो हमने उसके ऊपर बात करनी है कि इसने किस तरह से इसमें वैल्यू ऐड की है और इसमें कोई लिमिटेशंस थी या नहीं थी, तो ये हम किस पैराग्राफ में ऐड करेंगे?
बेटा ये आप मेन बॉडी में बात करेंगे, वन ऑन वन, एवरी पैराग्राफ, जो मेन आपका पैराग्राफ है उसमें हर लाइन में, मतलब यू विल ट्राई टू इनकॉर्पोरेट ऑल 10 आर्टिकल्स।
ठीक है।
Hamza is
Sir,
asking that my
about
topic
the
was about.
article in our paper.
जी सुखैना।
सर जो आर्टिकल के बारे में हमने लिखना है अपने पेपर में, वो हम वही मटेरियल यूज कर सकते हैं जो हमने पहले आर्टिकल के बारे में वर्कशीट में लिखा हुआ था?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, this was the entire purpose of doing those worksheets and annotated bibliography. आपने देखा नहीं है उसमें लिखा हुआ है that what you're going to submit, you're going to submit your annotated bibliography as well, 10 sources as resources as well, 10 research articles, and आपने तो वो काम कर लिया हुआ बेटा ऑलरेडी। वो करेंगे, बिल्कुल करेंगे।
जब ये हम
जी शरद,
जब इन राइटर्स को हमें प्रेजल देंगे, फीडबैक, सॉर्ट ऑफ फीडबैक, तो उसमें साथ में उनका नाम भी लिखना पड़ेगा और उनके रिसर्च पेपर का नाम भी।
बिल्कुल 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 बिल्कुल। एंड रिसर्च पेपर का नाम लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है, वो एपीए साइटेशन को देख लें। एपीए या शिकागो है या एमएलए, आई हैव फॉरगॉटन, आई थिंक एपीए करिए, एपीए में यू विल मेंशन राइटर्स लास्ट नेम and comma and the year in which it was published in the parentheses, and that's it. And writer,
उस मेन बॉडी में सिर्फ हम राइटर का नाम लिखेंगे और फिर जिसने देखना होगा वो नीचे साइटेशंस में जाके लिखेंगे।
जी बिल्कुल शायद, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। एपीए को एक दफा गो थ्रू कर लें, मैंने एक पावर पॉइंट। और हाउ अबाउट माय वीडियोस, आर दे लाइक बीइंग हेल्पफुल फॉर यू गाइस? लेट मी नो इन योर चैट, इन माय चैट बॉक्स। यस सर। अच्छा जी, चलो, आई एम ग्लैड। Hamza is asking, sir, my topic was about the debt crisis of developing countries. So can I focus on debt crisis of Pakistan because Pakistan is also developing countries? Ji Hamza, bilkul. This is something very important to talk on. This is something we are under a lot of pressure. Why not? Anybody else wants to ask?
Sir,
Ji
this is Isha.
Ji Isha.
Sir, so what if I write a rough thesis statement and I tell you, will you be able to tell me that this is fine and then I will start again?
I don't think that you should tell me right here in this meeting. You can
no, not here.
Okay, yes,
I will
yes,
email you.
Okay.
Or yeah,
Why not? All of you can send me your arguable thesis statements and I'll be able to give you feedback if you want me to evaluate. But as I asked earlier, as I said earlier, that don't be hesitant in putting your your sort of rough thesis statement, but it should be thoroughly and you should put considerable time on developing thesis statement. So I'll be happy to sort of give you feedback on it. So Kana, you want to ask something?
Sir, I wanted to ask about the status quo. I missed the part where you explained that.
Status quo is nothing but just the current situation of that particular issue that you are addressing.
Okay, all right.
Relate it with the current scenario. G, any other question, or should I sign off? That's it. All right, G. I don't think, or I don't know whether we'll be able to upload this much long present class on our YouTube channel. I'll try to do so. Can we?
सर आप अपना ड्राइव के ऊपर अपलोड करके हमें लिंक शेयर कर सकते हैं.
कहाँ पे अपलोड करूँ?
Google Drive पे सर.
Oh yes, I can do that. Thank you. Very good idea, Nabil. So I'm going to sign off. If you still have any question or confusion, we can call on another meeting. I hope this has been a kind of a session which tries to address some of your concerns and questions. And if you still have any
Yes,
questions,
sir. I just want to ask one final thing, just to make it clear. The annotated bibliography we did, there were like 10 articles in total. तो जो हमारा वो वाला मटेरियल है वो हम बॉडी में इंक्लूड करेंगे या वो एसे के एंड पे जाके लिखेंगे?
Ji, what did I say earlier? Anybody would like to answer this question of Zoha?
It will be in
Sir,
the body.
उसमें से
Yes. जी शेरल,
उसमें से पास्ट से रिलेटेड जो है वो हिस्ट्री वाले पैराग्राफ में लिखेंगे और करंट जो काम हो रहा है वो स्टेटस के वाले पैराग्राफ में, और बाकी जो आपने फीडबैक्स वगैरह देने ऑथर पे वो आप मेन बॉडी वाले पैराग्राफ.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Thank you very, very much, Cheryl. I would like to applaud you for saying this, and I would like to sign off for today's session. I hope and I wish you all the best, and I want you to stay healthy and happy. I sign off for today's session. Please, if you have any question, let me know via email or on our WhatsApp group. Okay, ji, Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz. Thank you, sir.